Today on Judge Faith, a hope to reconcile their family turns into ugly accusations of violence and elder abuse.
He shot my son in the back with a pellet gun, just with the air, when he was 4 years old. And on another occasion, he took my son and threw him in a swimming pool when he couldn't swim.
I went into court and filed two restraining orders, one against David for domestic violence and one against Carolyn for elder abuse.
You have 4 kids now who do not speak to you. That's not all on them, sir.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Paul Konzelman is suing his son and daughter-in-law for months of unpaid rent and utilities after he opened his home to them. Defendants Carolyn and David Konzelman say the plaintiff was cruel, abusive, and evicted them after a fight. They are countersuing for emotional damage and defamation of character.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Konzelman versus Konzelman.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Paul Konzelman?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant David Konzelman and Carolyn Konzelman for $9,925. You say they owe you for unpaid rent, unpaid utility bills, incidental home expenses, and carpet cleaning?
Yes.
And you are countersuing?
Yes.
For $10,000, $5,000 for emotional distress, and $5,000 for defamation of character?
Yes. Yeah.
We'll start with you, Mr. Konzelman. Now, as I understand it, you are his son?
Yes.
And you are his wife, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you lived with your dad in his home for 5 years?
Yes.
And the lawsuit stems from the 5 years that your son lived with you?
Yes.
How did your son end up living with you in your home?
2009, I decided to buy a house because I had the money to do it, I had the credit to do it, and they were basically homeless. I say they were homeless because they were living in my apartment while I was driving, and then on weekends they were staying in a motel.
What do you mean by while you were driving?
I was a cross-country, or not cross-country, I was an interstate truck driver for an oil tanker company. I'd go to work on a Sunday night or a Monday, and I wouldn't come home till Friday or Saturday.
Okay,
so while I was gone,
and you're retired now?
I'm disabled.
Go ahead.
I decided to try to get the family together and buy a home where they could share the home with me as long as they would pay a portion of the cost, the rent and their share of the utilities. So I bought this home. We closed escrow and moved in on September 20 of 2009.
What was the agreement in terms of how much they would pay you for rent?
The agreement that I understood with David was that he would pay half of the mortgage for rent.
How much was the mortgage?
It was $1,103. I also had an agreement with him for the utilities.
Tell me, Mr. Konzelman, were you homeless at the time?
No, we weren't. We
What
were
was
living
going on?
another friend's piece of property, and then on the weekends we would go to his apartment so we could take it easy, watch TV and stuff, because we didn't have TV and stuff.
You were living with a friend?
On their property, yeah. We had a trailer on their property we were living in.
Okay, but you were living in your own place, just the two of you and your child?
My son, yes.
Got it, okay.
And when he brought up the fact of buying the house, yeah, we agreed to it. We thought it'd be nice to get the family together. And the one thing is he's never, ever kept the family together. I have 2 brothers and another sister who hasn't talked to in I don't know how many years because they can't stand the way he is, the way they treated him when they were younger.
What do you mean by that?
He just verbally abusive, mentally abusive. He shot my son in the back with a pellet gun, just with the air, when he was 4 years old. And on another occasion, he took my son and threw him in a swimming pool when he couldn't swim.
So, and sir, what, 4 years old, was that before you moved into the house with him?
Just before.
The swimming pool was before.
And then when we moved into the house, he shot my son in the back.
So before you moved into the house with him, you say he pushed your son into a swimming pool knowing
yes.
your son couldn't swim.
Right.
And you thought it was a good idea to then go in and move into a house with him?
Well, we didn't think it would be a continuous thing. Yeah, and I should have known from when I was a kid that he used to shoot my mom's cats because he couldn't stand cats.
That's a liar.
And hung it over our neighbor's for sale
If
sign.
somebody's shooting animals, it's you, and you just recently shot a dog, the neighbor's dog, and dumped him in the lot across the street.
No, I didn't,
Yes,
because
you
her
did.
dog is
Carolyn
still in
told
her
me.
yard.
Carolyn
Her white
told me
dog
you
is
did.
still in her yard.
Mr. Conzelman, listen, don't talk to each other. I know the two of you don't like each other, okay?
Not whatsoever.
That's not true. I do like my son.
Do you call him
Okay.
and
You
Then
like
I don't want
us?
you to-
Then why did you file restraining orders and have us kicked out of the house?
Mr. Conzelman,
Okay.
I know you're upset and I know you're angry, but I want you to talk to me, okay?
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
When we first moved in there, he started bringing pigs home, okay? No pig pens built, nothing. Oh, we're gonna butcher and raise animals now, all right? Who all had to all go shoot the animals? Dave had to shoot the animals. Who had to butcher the chickens? Dave had to butcher chickens. Everything was done on his terms. If we didn't do it, there'd be a fight. And then it was, oh, you gotta get out. Every single time, if we disagreed with him. You know, the house, when we moved in there, was just basically a 1 acre dirt lot with one tree on it.
But there was a house.
Yeah, a house.
How many
That's a
bedrooms
house.
and bathrooms?
It's
There's
4
4
bedrooms.
bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. We had 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom.
Okay.
For what he's suing us for, saying, you know, we owe him money, all the work we put in this house would nullify it if he had to have contractors do this kind of work.
Well, but you agreed to pay rent,
Yes.
correct? And I read your answer. At some point, you say that you lost your job.
Yes.
You were unemployed, and so you weren't
Right.
able to pay rent to your dad.
Right.
And in exchange for the rent, there was an agreement between the two of you that you would butcher these pigs?
No. The agreement wasn't to butcher. It was all on his, oh, you got to butcher a pig. I sold this pig, and this guy wants us to butcher it. He's the one that made most of the money on it. I'd get a little bit of money out of it, but hardly anything.
That's not true, Your
Okay,
Honor.
tell me about it.
We started raising these animals, and we would slaughter them, and we would eat the meat. Some of the animals got sold off, yes. Some people brought us animals to butcher, and we charged him for that, and he was given money for doing that.
How would the money be split?
He'd get probably 70 to 80%.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's totally true.
Coming up on Judge Faith, there are no depths to this son's fury.
There's only 2 more times I have to see this man, is when we go to court tomorrow for this restraining order, and when we move this furniture of ours out of his house. And I will never speak to him again. You'll never see his kids, grandkids, period. Like he wants to anyway.
Plaintiff Paul Conzelman is suing his son and daughter-in-law for back rent and utilities, claiming they didn't pay for years. Defendants Carolyn and David Conzelman say they did major work on the home and are countersuing for emotional damage.
How does it get to the point to where you want them out?
On August the 26th, I sold 2 animals to pay utility bills, because at that point, they had accumulated $3,800 worth of just utility bills. So I sold these animals because I needed the money to pay the bills, the cell phone.
Where was
and
your
stuff like
income
that.
coming from at this time?
I was only on Social Security, and I received $1,000 a month for disability. On disability.
So your total income for Social Security and disability was how much?
About $2,100.
And the mortgage was over $1,000, and you were paying that by yourself?
Yes, I was
For
paying
how
that by
long?
myself. For 5 years.
How many months did you fall behind on the rent?
I'd say we probably fell behind a year and a half on rent.
Okay, and so
But
you
in
could
the meantime, but we maintain the property. Every day she's out there for 7, 8 hours, watering, maintaining the
Okay, but
animals.
Mr. Conzelman, there is a mortgage that has to be paid,
I
sir.
understand this.
Okay, so are you telling me that your father agreed that if you would maintain the property, he would cover the mortgage for over a year and a half?
We made a verbal agreement that as long as we maintained our utilities, we'd be okay.
What are the photos you submitted to the court?
That's
Okay.
the house when we first moved in.
Okay.
You can see there's nothing. This is another section of concrete that I formed and we poured.
Next photo.
This is one of
Oh, the
the
pigs.
sows. This sow here happened to start killing their babies. But I have pictures of us having these piglets in the bathtub, feeding them every 4 hours.
No, every 2 hours.
Every 2 to 4 hours. We had
Couldn't
to
for
feed
over a
them.
week not take a shower because we had baby pigs in the bathtub.
These were all bottle-fed pigs. There's 3 that...
They're in the living room now.
Only 2 survived, and the run ended up dying.
But who paid for it all?
Okay.
That's always your
That's
excuse.
it?
Who paid for it?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Tell me about when you had them evicted from your home, how that came about and what happened.
Okay. On August the 26th, we had a big blowout in the garage.
Why?
Concerning selling these 2 animals.
He
to pay
tried to double
rent.
sell the animal. We had already...
Stop.
That's not true. That's a total lie.
I
You
gave you
sold it to 2
$100.
other people.
Oh,
You
here
sold
comes the
it
real
to 2 other people.
Here comes the real
and never told
I
me.
said stop it. You are not going to use this courtroom to come in and yell at each other and berate each other. This is not what you're here for. Do you understand?
Yes.
What happened?
I walked in to talk to him about this, and I found out then that they had taken the deposit from at least 1 person, and I found out later they took deposit from a second person on these animals. They had basically never told me that. So we had a big fight.
Okay, and what are you saying happened, ma'am?
That's
What are
not
you saying
true.
happened?
Prior to this, him selling the pigs to this other people, we had talked to him the week before, and
you did.
me and my
Yes.
friend had agreed, and my friend gave us a $100 deposit, which we gave him, and then he
100
told us...
I did.
No, that was for utilities, and we wrote it on our calendar at home that, no, $100 for a pig. And we gave that money to him, and I see these people pulling into the driveway to look at the pigs. Well, there were 2, so we figured, all right, he's selling 1. Lo and behold, I go back to where the pig pens are, and he's selling both pigs. And he told us that, no, you didn't make that deal with me, and blah, blah, blah. I left from him. I went back to the garage. I was doing an oil change on my work truck.
Yeah, both of us did.
And I'm under the truck. He comes back in and starts yelling at us. And this is
And
how the whole
recording it,
thing got
too.
started.
That's not
So
true.
let me
And
ask
you're
you something,
recording
sir.
it,
At this
too.
point, your relationship, according to you, with your father has
Oh,
deteriorated.
it's over. I will never. There's only 2 more times I have to see this man. Is when we go to court tomorrow for this restraining order, and when we move this furniture of ours out of his house. That will be the end of it. I'm the last child he has. It speaks to him, and I will never speak to him again. He'll never see his kids, grandkids. Period.
Next on Judge Faith, verbal altercations turn nasty with accusations of fists and guns.
He threatened me in the garage to hit me, and the prior occasion was in my office he threatened to shoot me.
Did you threaten to shoot
No,
him?
I did not.
Did you raise your fist in a way,
No,
in
I
a
did
manner
not.
in which
That's
you
a
were
lie.
going
There's
to
no
strike
reason
him?
for me to. It
He
doesn't
did.
accomplish anything.
Plaintiff Paul Konzelman said he couldn't afford to have his son and daughter-in-law staying in his home rent-free and is suing for unpaid rent and utilities. Defendants Carolyn and David Konzelman say the plaintiff had them evicted with 10 minutes notice and are suing for emotional damage.
You had them evicted.
Okay.
Tell me
On the
how and why.
26th, during this argument, Carolyn was standing in the garage yelling and screaming at me. He was yelling and screaming at me, cussing me out, threatening me, and he charged me.
I wish I recorded it.
Cocked the swing, stopped a couple feet from me with his arm back, was going to hit me. Then I went in the house. Carolyn followed me in. I dialed 911, and she continued to yell and scream into the phone.
Did the
for
police
another-
respond?
Yes, they did.
Is there a police report?
Yes, there is.
Do you have it with you?
No, I did not.
When did you go to court and get a restraining order?
I mulled it over for a while, and then on the 24th, I decided after the
How many days later?
30, less than 28.
A month later?
Yes.
So a month later, you go into court and tell them what?
I went into court and filed 2 restraining orders, one against David for domestic violence and one against Carolyn for elder abuse.
So for 30 days, your son and your daughter-in-law are in the home with you
And our son.
and your grandson, and for 30 days, you're going to sleep, you're getting up, you're eating your meals, you're doing what you need to do for 30 days?
Yes, I took my time to think it over. What was I going to do
And
about
so
the situation?
what happened with the restraining order, sir?
The judge granted me the restraining order and move-out orders over the abuse.
And what was the basis for the restraining order?
Was that he threatened me in the garage to hit me, and the prior occasion was in my office he threatened to shoot me.
Did you threaten to shoot
No,
him?
I did not.
Did you raise your fist in a way,
No,
in
I
a
did
manner
not.
in which
That's
you
a
were
lie.
going
There's
to
no
strike
reason
him?
for me to. It
He
doesn't
did.
accomplish anything.
The restraining order is granted
On the 24th.
on the 24th, and when are they evicted from the
The
home?
26th, the sheriff showed up as she was leaving for work.
Were you aware
No,
that he
she
got a
wasn't-
restraining order?
We
No,
had
not
no
leaving the
idea
work.
this happened because we had just given him money the day before.
Is that true?
Yes.
What happened when the sheriff showed
they-
up, ma'am?
They came at the door, at the gate. Actually, I had to let him in. I had to get my son out of bed. He was not even out of bed yet. And they told me 10 minutes to pack my stuff. So I just grabbed the necessary things I need for my child and for me, and some of the pants for him, because I knew we had a Saturday job.
And where did you go?
I went into the car, and I went actually to school. I dropped my son off at school. I talked to the school, to the principal, and to the teacher. And then I went to work. And after work, we got together and figured out.
And where did you sleep that night?
We went and got a hotel room because I had gotten paid from work.
And where are you staying now?
We're still staying in a hotel until we got another week before our apartment will be ready.
You have a counterclaim for $5,000 for emotional distress and $5,000 for defamation of character. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we live in the same house, but we would spend most of the time out in the garage because we didn't want to be in the house because we didn't know where we were going to walk into with him. Like if there was going to be an argument or what he was going to complain about.
He didn't like me, so that was obvious.
He's never liked her from the get-go.
So what was it like living in the house?
Horrible. For me, it was horrible.
Like
I
walking
stayed
on
outside.
eggshells.
I did
It's
this.
like-
I did the gardening to be outside. I took care of the pigs. And
The less we were in the
my
house,
son.
the better. Like I said, with being laid off, it was hard to find someplace else to
But she
go
was
right
abusive to me.
now. Abusive to you?
You yelled and
Good
screamed at me
morning,
all the
Paul.
time.
I'm
Every
switching.
day
You
she
yelled
would
and
say,
screamed
"Good
at me
morning."
all the time. That's what
Yeah,
you got kicked
because
out.
you.
Let me ask you something. When you
just-
moved in with him, were you trying to rekindle your
Yes,
relationship with him?
yes.
Okay. And why was that?
Because I was the last one he had. His own family members, other than one sister, speak to him. None of them.
None
will
of the
speak
other
to him.
siblings?
None of the other siblings.
Why don't your other kids speak to you?
My daughter doesn't like me because of the divorce that we went through. My youngest son, he lives with his mom up in Utah, and his brother lives down in Orange County, and he owes me money I loaned him for his divorce, and I said, "Would you send that money to your mom?" He never did.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Despite the restraining order, which I think you used as a tool just to get them evicted immediately from the home, instead of going through the proper procedure, if they're not paying rent, if they're not doing what they need to do, you go to eviction court. But you don't go and get a restraining order and have them and your 9-year-old grandson is kicked out in 10 minutes. But you can't live in a home rent-free. You understand?
We understand
And
that.
based on his income, the Social Security and the disability, that's not enough money for him to pay the mortgage on his own. I believe you owe him for back rent. How much was the monthly rent you agreed to pay initially?
$500.
Okay, $500 a month?
Yes.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to order you to pay back rent, sir, for 1 year in the amount of $500 a month, so that's a total of $6,000. I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff. However, on your emotional distress claim, I actually think that being suddenly evicted from your home with no notice, with your child and with your wife, is a very emotional, traumatizing, and distressful situation when I don't really and truly believe it was warranted, sir. So, verdict for you, $6,000 for back rent, but I'm going to offset that and order you to pay them $2,000 in emotional distress. That leaves a $4,000 judgment in your favor. I wish you all the best of luck. You know, this case, the $4,000, the money involved in this case, in the grand scheme of things, it's irrelevant.
Petty.
Because you have a grandson and you say your grandson is never going to see his
He doesn't wanna
grandfather
see him.
again.
He's here.
I don't believe that.
You have 4 kids now who do not speak to you, who do not communicate with you. That's not all on them, sir. Some of this is on you, and you've got some soul searching to do. Judgment for the plaintiff, $4,000.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.
Right? Okay, hold on.